Hello, we are Group 6, and our members include Jana Turner, Lourdes Salinas, Esmeralda Granados, and Katie Chung, me. The nonprofit organization we chose is the Little Tokyo Service Center, and our volunteering consisted mainly of content creation and event planning. So throughout this presentation, we will go over the organization we worked with, and the services that they provide to the community, as well as what we helped with their volunteering. We'll show the process we went through to contact the organization and make ourselves aware of the opportunities that they provide. Then we will review the options they provided us and the option we chose to work with. After that, we'll give an overview on the San Gabriel Nursery and Florist and Craft by Maki, which is the businesses that we worked with. And then next, we will detail the services we provided during our time volunteering. And then our evaluation based on the business owners. And lastly, our key takeaways. So first, we will provide an overview on the organization we're working with, which is the Little Tokyo Service Center. The mission statement of the Little Tokyo Service Center is to provide a comprehensive array of social welfare and community development services to assist low-income individuals and other persons in need, contributing to community revitalization and cultural preservation in Little Tokyo and among the broader Japanese community in the Southland, and to provide such resources to neighboring Asian Pacific Islander and other low-income communities. The Little Tokyo Service Center's many projects, events, services work to benefit the Asian American population greatly and create a sense of community among the residents of Little Tokyo. The Little Tokyo Service Center provides many services that are able to strengthen the community, and some examples of these services including nurturing families, helping seniors, building affordable housing, assisting people in need, supporting small businesses, and strengthening Little Tokyo through various projects and events. Now we will review the process of contacting the organization. We made a visit to the Little Tokyo Service Center, and this is actually a short clip of the building outside. It has really beautiful architecture with nods back to the Japanese culture and their history. So we contacted the LTSC through this email and set up an appointment with them to inquire about possible volunteering work. They did take a little while to email us back, but eventually we were able to pin them down, and we got some organization information, like their phone number, the address, the name of the volunteer coordinator, and then we also met quite a few times over Zoom just to talk about the project. So after we were able to contact the organization, the coordinator was kind enough to provide us with the volunteering options. There were a few to choose from. So some options that we were provided were working with small businesses like Mr. Ramen, the San Gabriel Nursery and Florist, or working with their actual recreation center, Terasaki Budokan. And then we all agreed to work with the San Gabriel Nursery and Florist, as you'll see a little bit more of in the next slide. So after hearing back from one of the workers at the Little Tokyo Service Center, like I said, we were offered these 3 different volunteering opportunities, as you can read in the email. Another one was also volunteering with their homeless services. We all agreed, like I said, to work with their small business anniversary project with the San Gabriel Nursery, although all of them did sound interesting. So after talking further with the organization, they provided us some more information, like the paperwork to volunteer, and questions from them, which, regarded the extent of which we would be able to volunteer, as seen on the right. But the most important thing that we discussed was a partial list of their identified needs, and this has proven to be fairly accurate. So this included an online audit, research and creation of a timeline for the small businesses, social media strategy creation and caption writing, as well as special event on-site apport. So after a lengthy discussion, we were really confident that we were able to positively contribute to their project, and we chose this volunteer organization. So now we'll discuss more about the actual businesses that are involved in the project that we volunteered in. Here you can see on the top a picture of the San Gabriel Nursery and Florist, and then on the bottom is the storefront for Craft by Maki. The San Gabriel Nursery and Florist is a Japanese-American family-owned business that has been longstanding since 1923. The business makes very frequent contributions to the environment and their surrounding community via charities and things like that. They specialize in rare flowers, plants, and Japanese plants. And with their 100th anniversary event, they are intending to create a community appreciation celebration event. So working alongside Craft by Maki, the project is essentially to collaborate with the San Gabriel Nursery and Florist to create a product in order to support both small businesses through funds and advertisement. Craft by Maki is a small Japanese-American business owned by Darren Maki. It's a shop in Little Tokyo and has very specially designed outerwear and accessories honoring Little Tokyo, and works in conjunction very frequently with the Little Tokyo Service Center and various other Little Tokyo affiliated businesses. So Darren and the LTSC had already selected the San Gabriel Nursery to help promote their 100-year anniversary. Darren puts not only limited edition clothing, but also special packages together to help promote local businesses, and working with the nursery at the anniversary event. Craft by Maki's main purpose is to essentially design merchandise to sell for the celebration. And so here you can see a photo of Darren himself, Craft by Maki's logo, as well as their storefront in Little Tokyo. So after meeting with the people that we would be working with, they gave us a rundown on the services they expected us to fulfill. And here you can see a picture of us actually meeting in person, and then also a picture of, a little tease of one of the posts that we created ourselves for the celebration. So the services that we provided to the San Gabriel Nursery included online audits, social media strategy, feedback on the merchandise, and on-site support. So within the online audits, we evaluated the business's social media and web presence, which I'll go into further detail later. Lourdes and I were assigned to conduct an audit for the San Gabriel Nursery, while Jana and Esme worked together to audit Craft by Maki. We also have created numerous Instagram posts to promote the main anniversary event and bring awareness to the history of this Japanese-American business. So this includes things also like caption writing, we're developing a postcard, and also writing a blog of the event behind the scenes. And this is individual work. Each of us are assigned to multiple different Instagram posts and things like that. But we were also needed to provide an outside perspective and give feedback on merchandise creation and event specifics. And then lastly, all of us are going to attend the event and continue attending weekly meetings. So these steps are a mixture of individual work where people are assigned to each, and as well as group work. So as discussed earlier, a big part of our project is to assist with providing feedback and advertising for the specialty 100th anniversary merchandise that Darren Maki has been creating for Craft by Maki's business. So this includes a custom commemorative t-shirt, a San Gabriel Nursery branded spade, a tote bag, and a pin. So the picture above is actually the t-shirt design that we settled on and will actually be using for the anniversary event. It's really cool. And then on the right is one of the post slides that our group created from scratch to advertise the merchandise capsule. And it includes, some information like the date and just all of the things that are going to be inside the pack. So we worked with the Little Tokyo Service Center to develop online audits of the two businesses, collaborating for this anniversary celebration, San Gabriel Nursery and Craft by Maki. We worked in teams, like I said earlier, to assess each business website and evaluate their social media and web presence. So through the audits, we actually really helped these businesses to create plans to give them more exposure. And the feedback that we received from the LTSC was really positive. They really appreciated the depth of our research and to have a really fresh perspective on their websites. So essentially, we did this by creating key terms to search up that applied to each business. For example, for the San Gabriel Nursery and Florist, we looked up terms like LA bonsai plants and LA nursery. And then we searched these terms up over different browsers like Google, Yahoo, and Bing on both desktop and mobile devices to get a really comprehensive array. And we provided these businesses critiques based on their search results. So how frequently their business was mentioned when we were looking at these browsers, what each browser looked like, things like that. And then we also looked at their media presence on not only social media, but also media mentions like articles written. And based on these findings, we made observations and next steps for the businesses to improve their online presence. Here you can see some screenshots of our actual presentations, and you can also click the link if you so choose to actually see the presentations themselves. So the organization hired a content designer to create a content planner schedule for us to designate different posts that each of us would create. Each person has a different post to design and to post on the business's Instagram. So this includes research on the according topics, discussion with the San Gabriel Nursery business owner, as well as detailed graphic design. And the research includes finding out the family business's history, learning about Japanese American history throughout the 1900s, and about different plants and flowers. So we're basically building up excitement for the event by making posts about the San Gabriel Nursery throughout the decades. And there are 19 posts to be created, split throughout all four of us. And then the photo on the right is actually a screenshot of part of the content calendar that the organization provided us to follow. And then on the left is the breakdown if you want to read it. So this is an example of the graphic design we've been working on. Our group has been creating content for the collaboration Instagram posts, advertising the event, merchandise, building up excitement for clientele about the anniversary. We're doing an important series of posts along the decades that are held throughout the century that San Gabriel Nursery has been around. So each post discusses a flower that held significance for the business within that decade, as well as the history of events that occurred throughout each of those 10 years. And they also provided us a brand style guide, which emphasizes the importance of discussing San Gabriel Nursery's history and relevance to the community within each and every post that we create. So if you'd like to see firsthand some of the posts we've made for the businesses, you can actually go to their Instagram accounts on the bottom. The handles are at Craft by Maki, as well as at San Gabriel Nursery and Florist. These are some more examples of the content we've created. Each one of us had a hand in designing these posts, which has been a really huge learning experience for all of us. And these two posts examine some of the history that we've been learning and discussing with the business owners and being able to share with Instagram users. So moving forward, we've had many meetings with the business owners going both in person and on Zoom weekly. Here we have some photos of us meeting in person at the nursery, as well as some photos we took at the nursery itself when we were given a tour by the owner. So in these meetings, we discuss the content that's been designed each week, as there are typically about 2 to 3 posts that go out per week. The owners give us feedback, like what to change or how to word certain captions, and then we're also able to provide assistance with the upcoming event, as well as providing feedback on the merchandise. So throughout this project, we've learned so much about the history of the San Gabriel Nursery and how much their family's gone through to get through 100 years of staying in business. Here are some screenshots of our meetings that have taken place online on Zoom with the LTSC volunteer coordinator and the business owners. And these meetings take place weekly on Thursdays at 8 p.m. typically. So this next section will discuss the evaluation we conducted with both of the business owners as well as the Little Tokyo Service Center representative we worked with. And this is a photo of us meeting in person with both the business owners from Craft by Maki and the nursery. So with each representative, we asked the same questions for overall feedback. We wanted to include the highlights and important points from each person and summarize it. So the first question we asked was, how did we do overall throughout our time volunteering? The second was there anything you appreciated about our work or thought we could improve on? Third, is there anything you would like us to focus on with the event? And fourth, how do you feel about the upcoming event? So first, we interviewed Mary Ishihara Swanton, which is the granddaughter of the original owners, Fred and Mitsuko Yoshimura. We worked with her mainly to glean feedback for our content and gain knowledge about the history of the business. And after asking her each question, she's mainly excited to hear our different inputs and perspectives. And thinks the anniversary event has resulted in so many different, interesting collaborations among people. Mary mainly appreciated our time and effort, but she really pointed out that we should make sure to keep double checking grammar and spelling on each post before submitting them to her for approval by the nursery. And that being said, she hopes to have more time to review the posts a little bit more carefully before approving them to post. Yeah. So we then met with Darren Maki, the business owner of Craft by Maki, who we mainly worked with on product design. After each question, we asked him, we found some key points. He really appreciated our enthusiasm, most of all, about the project and our willingness to jump in, taking initiative to create. Mainly, he really loved that we were all able to understand what the project with the San Gabriel Nursery is all about, preserving and celebrating the history of Japanese American legacy businesses. And we were very flexible and adaptive to the brand style guide we were given, which helped us to adhere to a certain theme when we all created content. And then representing the Little Tokyo Service Center, we talked with Mariko Lockridge, the small business coordinator for the Little Tokyo Service Center. We worked with her as she helped us to get adjusted in graphic design and connecting with the businesses. And asking her each question, she really appreciated how devoted and excited we were to creating meaningful quality content. Despite our time demands, it did take a while, frequently every week. And she also liked that we were willing to learn and take feedback. But she also did express a desire for us to pay attention to being more cohesive with the fonts, as well as keeping spacing and sizing more similar among each post. So now that we have discussed the evaluations we conducted with the people we worked under, we'll conclude with our key takeaways and reflect. This section will examine an overview of our experience and knowledge that we've gleaned from our time volunteering, as well as strengths and limitations, and a conclusion. And then here are actually some photos of the history of the San Gabriel Nursery, just their background. So throughout this project, we've learned so much about the history of Japanese Americans in California, including the internment of Japanese Americans during World War II and the economic and personal effects of internment. This is mainly due to the research we've done on the nursery, and their history is unfortunately full of enduring racism and stereotyping. For example, their family were placed in internment camps at one point, and their nursery was actually set on fire by an arsonist at another point. We were able to learn how they, a Japanese American family, dealt with problems like this. And this really connects to the course content by giving us a better understanding of the history behind Japanese American culture, as well as the contributions that we can make ourselves to supporting the community. We've also learned about different Japanese plants and flowers, as well as their symbolism in the community. And a big part of this project is content design and strategy, creating posts to put on social media. As discussed previously, we also performed online audits for the two different businesses. And then we're, providing them feedback and following along with the process. So we were really able to learn a lot, actually, about designing outerwear and event planning as well. So to reflect on our time volunteering, we wanted to look at the strengths, limitations, as well as what we could do differently moving forward. So our strengths include that some of our group members have intermediate graphic design experience due to previous coursework, so they're able to give us feedback and directions on the posts we draft. Although, and another one of our group members is a small business owner, so she has a lot of ideas on advertising and creating clientele. And we all have experience using social media, so we can bring the perspective of a viewer to adjust posts and captioning. And then lastly, the San Gabriel Nursery, as well as the Little Tokyo Service Center and Craft by Maki, are really close in time and distance to Cal State LA, so it's not too difficult to travel to each location. Our limitations are mainly lacking knowledge. None of us really knew much about gardening, so we had a lot to read up on. And neither of us, any four of us, had actually done an online audit, nor had we done really much event planning. But we are all really willing and eager to learn, and it's proven to be really beneficial for us and for the organization. But moving forward, what we want to do differently, if we could do this again, is looking for an earlier volunteering project and starting having meetings earlier. So although our project for this class has concluded, we've spent so many hours volunteering for the Little Tokyo Service Center, but we actually chose a project when they told us that it's a little bit later than the semester ends. So we've done the bulk of the project thus far, but we still have the anniversary itself to attend, and it's not going to be held until June. So all four of us actually committed to staying on as interns for the Little Tokyo Service Center rather than volunteers after the semester ends, and we're going to continue working for them until the event date. But the problem was, because we didn't realize the end date until after we'd already committed to volunteering with them and begun, so we just figured we'd continue with the project. So in conclusion, we've learned many different skills due to this project, as well as a better understanding of Asian American history. We worked with 3 different businesses, the Little Tokyo Service Center, San Gabriel Nursery, and Craft by Maki, in order to design content, plan events, and learn different business tactics. Although, there was a lot more to learn too. But overall, we were given the opportunity to learn so much about Japanese American history firsthand, and really get the ability to keep preserving Asian American legacy businesses by finding out and telling others the rich history behind this small business. And that concludes our presentation. Thank you.